I promise I will answer the question in a moment, but if you can just give me a second to bask in the fact that Alex Smith, God bless him, is no longer the quarterback
but you don't really mean that,
of my home team. He's a good man. He's a charitable man.
He's a good guy.
He's what people would call a really decent guy. So I wish him the best, and I'm thrilled he now has lifetime and lifetime money. So God bless him, but also God bless the fact that he's not the quarterback for my team anymore. The Mahomes era has begun. Got a cornerback as well, so I'm very thrilled about that.
Mahomes is your guy.
Selfishly. Well, he has to be. For the love of God.
No, last year, Jenna, before the draft, we had Mahomes on a show in Los Angeles.
That's true.
And from that time, Nick was like, because I was like, hey, man, he's from Texas Tech. Like, these guys said, they have a lot of big stats and everything. Don't know about his. Nick's like, I like this guy.
This is before the draft.
Before the Chiefs took him.
Yes.
And then we got to talk to him at the rookie premiere in Los Angeles once he was already a Chief. And so I'm excited for the Chiefs. But I think the bigger story is for our audience who are not in Kansas City right now is what this means for Washington, what it means for Kirk Cousins. What it means for Washington is I don't understand what they did. Now, maybe I'm biased. Maybe I have post-traumatic Alex Smith disorder from watching him the last few years. But I do not think Alex Smith is as good as Kirk Cousins. I think he's close. I think they're similar tiers, but I think Kirk Cousins is a little bit better. I know Kirk Cousins is considerably younger. He's 4 years younger than Alex Smith. And to not only trade for Alex Smith and the $17 million he's owed this upcoming season, but to instantly give him 4 years, $94 million, with a reported $71 million guaranteed, I don't think you got better. You didn't drastically improve your cap situation, and you gave up a third-round pick, and the kid Kendall Fuller, Pro Football Focus, says he's the best slot corner in football last year. So I don't understand this move for Washington, aside from the fact that for some reason or another, after being with Kirk Cousins from the first day of his career, they never liked him. They never believed in him. Jay Gruden clearly never wanted him as their quarterback. And so they got, to me, just an older version, not quite as skilled, of Kirk Cousins. So I don't understand this move for Washington.
Well, Alex Smith's going to have to change his game somewhat if he's going to continue on. If they're going to be a threat in the NFC East. Because, look, I mean, the Giants are going to come back strong. Philadelphia, man, they got a franchise quarterback. They got a lot of good players. Don't forget what's going on in Dallas. So how does Washington stay competitive? You have to realize it's just like a relationship. You only need one person to fall in love with you. You could have something coming out your forehead. You find one person, and that's what Alex Smith found in Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden knew in the last several years that Kirk Cousins wasn't the long-term answer. But also, does this give Jay Gruden more time there in Washington? Now he's got a new quarterback in Alex Smith who does give him more, especially running options as a quarterback. Now, I think Alex Smith is one of those kind of guys that takes care of his body. He's going to play late into his 30s or potentially play till he's 40 with the tight. He hadn't taken a lot of big hits, all right? But the receiving core and the skilled players, like, he's playing with less than in Washington. So if you look at his numbers, be like, wow, how is he going to be better in Washington with less skilled guys, less speed, less threats around him on the field?
And Cousins had better numbers just quickly. Better numbers over the last few years in Washington.
Didn't he have the top quarterback rating last year?
Alex Smith did. But the point but as far as yards per pass, touchdowns, Kirk Cousins had better raw numbers, not efficiency numbers, but raw numbers than Alex Smith, which is
But they throw the ball a lot more.
But with worse talent. My point is Kirk Cousins had, to me, I thought, more impressive stats than Alex Smith with less talented receivers.
So the one question that I think all the football pundits have been asking and no one's been able to answer, and we had Jay Gruden on the show and we kind of danced around it a little bit, is what was the stake in the ground? What was the problem between Kirk Cousins and the Washington organization? What was it that didn't work? Because he played okay and he wasn't disgruntled in any way.
Well, first of all, what didn't work, Kirk Cousins wasn't the guy to get him over the hump. They weren't willing to invest in him long term. But Kirk Cousins didn't lose. I mean, the last several years, he's made how much money, Nick?
Oh, yeah. The last 2 years, he's made $45 million, and he's about to make
a ton of money.
A huge deal.
Right. So he won in that. The quarterback relationship with the head coach. If the head coach is calling the plays, and if he doesn't believe in you long term, we knew that when they franchised him, especially the second time. And they decided they were going to go in a different direction. So I always believe this. When the coach is with the player every day, I take what the coach says. Yeah. Like, my eyes might tell me something, but Jay Gruden actually sent a message in trading for Alex Smith, giving him a long-term contract, the contract that Kirk Cousins has been looking for 3 years.
And it also is noteworthy, Gruden isn't the guy that drafted him. Obviously, Mike Shanahan was there when they drafted him. But I just want to let people know, because Washington hasn't excelled on a super high level, Kirk Cousins' last 3 years, each of the last 3 years, at least 4,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns. Just a quick list of guys who have ever done that 3 straight years in NFL history: Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Eli, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
So, I mean, to move on from him so you can give Alex Smith $70 million guaranteed is curious.
Is there something to be said for the relationship sometimes superseding another player? So maybe the relationship between Jay Gruden and Alex Smith is going to be a lot stronger than it was with a guy like Kirk Cousins, and you can do more with a guy that believes in you and your system?
Well, potentially more. I mean, Cousins, they franchise him. That's no disrespect to him. I mean, he didn't have a long resume when they decided to go with him. They decided to go with him over RG3, who was a big-time draft pick, who they had to admit that he was a bust. So in doing that, they extended some type of faith in his ability, but not the ultimate faith, and that's in a long-term contract. When a coach believes in you, and it's really important, it allows you to really thrive as a player. Yeah. And when you're signing one-year deals, it's hard for them to say that they believe in you because the money tells the story.
This is where I think it was borderline organizational malpractice by Washington. If they thought his 2015 year was a mirage, that was his first really big year, and you want to franchise him in 2016.
Right.
I get it. Like, that is a thing a lot of teams do. But then in 2016, when he almost throws for 5,000 yards, has a 97 quarterback rating, 25 touchdowns to 12 picks, 8 yards per attempt. Once you decide after that year, we're not signing him long-term.
Right.
You knew you weren't ever signing him long-term. You could have traded him. There were things you could have tried to do to now be in this position.
Yeah, they franchised him again, and then they got rid of Deshaun Jackson and also Pierre Garçon, 2,000-yard receivers.
Right.
And now, he made a lot of money, but he still came back with another good season. Terrell Pryor, they signed him as a free agent. He didn't do anything for Kirk Cousins in the 1 year there.
So now we're now in a position. Cousins is the best healthy quarterback to hit the market in a long time. People are like, oh, Peyton Manning was a free agent. He had his neck operated on.
Right.
Drew Brees was a free agent. He had shoulder surgery. Dante had the knee surgery. Like, we haven't had a quarterback this good hit the open market in a long time. A lot of teams are going to be going after him. Like this. Go ahead.
I know my man Witt, Jets fan. Jets call him up.
Very much are going to want
Kirk Cousins. You guys have been scrambling. Fitzpatrick, all these other guys. Call Kirk Cousins, and he's played in the cold. All right, he'll be able to throw the ball in that conference. I mean, look, they got Tom Brady. Yeah. He's already the second best. He's already second best quarterback if you put him in the AFC East.
Can I tell you where I think it should call him? Cleveland. Cleveland. You got the first pick. If you're not going to draft a quarterback, you could make it to where you have multiple number ones in consecutive years of the draft, load up on blue chip talent, maybe a Saquon Barkley, maybe another star defensive player, and try to get Cousins that way.
Yeah, you might be able to get you an offensive lineman and get Barkley with the number 4 pick, too.
Right. There's a lot you could do if you're Cleveland, if you can sign your quarterback instead of having to draft him.
Man, that makes too much sense. They're not going to do that. And that's not going to happen.
We would be remiss if we didn't end this segment the way we started, by congratulating you on giving you hope and optimism for maybe this year letting your Chiefs get out of January.
Please, Patty Mahomes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.